You know, Michelle and I, we've really been milking this goodbye thing. So it behooves me to be very brief. Yes, yes. You know, I've said before, and I will say again, that when we started on this journey, we did so with an abiding faith in the American people and their ability, our ability, to join together and change the country in ways that would make life better for our kids and our grandkids. That change didn't happen from the top down, but it happened from the bottom up. It was met sometimes with skepticism and doubt. Some folks didn't think we could pull it off. There were those who felt that the institutions of power and privilege in this country were too deeply entrenched. And yet, all of you came together in small towns and big cities, a whole bunch of you really young, and you decided to believe.
What you're seeing there, power has transferred. President Obama saying goodbye to his staff.
You talked to your parents.
President Trump about to sign his first orders, his first executive orders as President of the United States.
You got to know each other, and you went into communities that maybe you'd never even thought about visiting, and met people that on the surface seemed completely different than you, didn't look like you or talk like you or watch the same TV programs as you, and yet once you started talking to them, it turned out that you had something in common. And it grew, and it built. And people took notice. And throughout, it was infused with a sense of hope. And as I said in 2004, it wasn't blind optimism that drove you to do all this work. It wasn't naivete. It wasn't willful ignorance to all the challenges that America faces. It was hope.
President Trump there with his grandkids.
Hope in the face of uncertainty.
President Obama hitting the themes that he hit from the very beginning of his political career. Hope.
And throughout this process, Michelle,
very rarely you see
your front men.
Two presidents side by side like that.
We have been
with such dramatically different visions and plans, and we're about to see the first plan signed now by the 45th President of the United States.
On the TV screen, in front of the microphone, but this has never been about us. It has always been about
no advance word yet from the Trump team what exactly he's going to be signing. We'll report as soon as we get it.
Amazing things that happened over these last 10 years are really just a testament to you. In the same way that when we talk about our amazing military and our men and women in uniform, the military is not a thing. It's a group of committed.
And there it is, the first signature.
Willing to sacrifice everything on our behalf. It works only because of the people in it. As cool as the hardware is, and we got cool hardware, as cool as the machines and weapons, satellites are.
And as President Trump signs now his second order, we're going to close in on that.
The minor Michelle. Well, the same thing's true for our democracy. Democracy is not the buildings, not the monuments.
He's flanked by his grandson there. And leaders in the House.
I assume he was approved today.
It's coming, all right, Joe?
Knock on wood.
First bill he signed a waiver for General Mattis, who's incoming out of the Pentagon. Martha Raddatz, he's of course served as a general. You have to wait, what, 7 years?
7 years, a civilian-controlled Defense Department, and with that waiver, Jim Mattis will be allowed to be Secretary of Defense.
Also signing the formal nominations of his other cabinet members. Proclaiming National Day of Patriotism, that's something of a tradition as well. Other presidents have proclaimed national days of thanksgiving and remembrance. So far, mostly ceremonial, some housekeeping from the president.
Making sure
Promises of more to come. Only 2 cabinet members likely to be in place by the end of the day. Both generals, General Mattis, General Kelly for Homeland Security.
Yeah, I'd like to give some pens out.
Presidential privilege he's talking about right there. You get to give pens out after you sign orders or bills. He'll be doing that. Sometimes you even break the pen into pieces or sign one letter of your name at a time so you can have more pens. His son Barron there over his shoulder right next to the House Speaker, Paul Ryan. These are things, of course, the president can do on his own. The work of legislating begins next. Congress did have to approve that waiver for General Mattis, but that wasn't hard. He glided through, well respected by both Democrats and Republicans.
Absolutely, and as you know, we didn't always agree with what we've heard President Trump say about the world. He talked about Russia as a threat. President Trump seems to want a new relationship with Russia. It took him a long time to say that Russia was responsible for the hacking.
And Cokie Roberts, I'm struck by that scene we see right there, that mixture of leaders of Congress, his vice president, and his family. Boy, he likes to have his family very, very close by.
And these grandchildren are adorable. They're looking, closely, his son looking over his shoulder. This room he's in is called the president's room because the president would stay there. The old Congress adjourned on March 3rd, and the new president was inaugurated on March 4th for much of our history. And the old president would stay in that room and sign, or the new president.